will not delve into allegations on social media. And if they have to, they will invite their security chiefs to get details.
This is not a social media stuff. And the investigation is going on right now in the United States Congress. And also today, the President, Donald Trump, also said specifically that in that investigation, the support given to Nigeria so far should also be investigated.
Even America has not taken the allegation hook, line, and sinker. They are investigating. So Nigeria must also investigate to be sure, because we won't just keep quiet. It is true that U.S. aid have been funding Boko Haram in Nigeria. We have no business allowing them to have offices in Nigeria. That they had this matter of urgent importance on allegations of U.S. aid funding Boko Haram in Nigeria, and he would like the Senate to discuss it. We have already taken one motion on Order 41 Rule 4151, but the Senate has implicit authority because of the urgency of this to go beyond just one order of this in a day. We rarely do this. Is it the view of the Senate that in view of the seriousness of this situation internationally and its implication to the security of Nigeria, that he be allowed under Section Order 1 Rule B of certain orders to proceed with this? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. Then the ayes have it. You may proceed.
Boko Haram by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. The Senate notes that on Thursday, 13th February 2025, the entire social media space was agog with trending video of a United States Republican Congressman, Scott Perry, representing Pennsylvania, alleging at the inaugural hearing of Subcommittee on Delivering on Government Efficiency that U.S. aid has been funding terrorist organizations across the world, Boko Haram inclusive. Also note that this allegation is coming up at the heels of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, raising an alarm that Boko Haram terrorist groups are being sponsored and trained by international organizations. Further notes that over the years, the modus operandi of Boko Haram in Nigeria has been a source of great concern, as their source of funding and operations have been shrouded in mystery. Recalls that the devastation caused by Boko Haram in the northeast region and other parts of the country, which includes the bombing of UN building in August 2021, and of course, the bombing of the police headquarters here in Abuja, among other attacks, led to loss of lives of Nigerians in thousands and wanton destructions on properties, which occasioned unprecedented internal displacement across the country. Also recalls that the federal government over the years strived to put measures in place to curtail the activities of terrorist groups in the country by expending huge resources, which seem not to have yielded much result as the nefarious activities of terrorists continued unabatedly, and observes that the monumental devastation caused by Boko Haram in this country should be a matter of concern, as it has dented the image of this country among Committee of Nations for allegations to begin to emerge at this point in time that some international organizations are behind this unwholesome act, there is the urgent need for steps to be taken by the federal government to unravel the mystery behind this whole episode. Accordingly, one, urge the federal government to constitute an interministerial committee comprising of Ministries of Defense, Interior, Foreign Affairs, and the headships of armed forces and other security agencies to investigate the allegation and make appropriate recommendation on the way forward. And two, set up an ad hoc committee comprising of the chairman and vice chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, and Legal Matters, Defense, Army, Navy, Air Force, National Security and Intelligence, Police Affairs, and Foreign Affairs to liaise with the relevant authorities to ascertain the veracity of the allegation with the view to taking appropriate legislative measures. I so move.
Between Senator Kagashehu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Venture.
This all-important motion ably moved by distinguished Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, and by the leave of Mr. President, I would like to chip in a word or two. Mr. President, the allegation contained in this motion paper is very weighty. These hallowed chambers represent 109 federal constituency or senatorial districts across Nigeria. Terrorism, banditry, criminality is always a daily occurrence in the 109 senatorial districts. Mr. President, the intelligence agencies in Nigeria had in the past made numerous attempts to investigate on the funding of these terrorists and bandits through various ways, but did not yield the much desired result. With the pointer by the representative by Mr. Perry Scott, I think there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Let us support this motion wholeheartedly so that we can unravel the veracity or otherwise of the allegation with a view to finding solution so that Nigerians can go to sleep with their two eyes closed. I so second Mr. Senate President, and thank you, my distinguished colleagues.
I'm also a co-sponsor of this very, very important motion, eloquently presented and delivered by Senator Ali Ndume, representing Borno South. Mr. President, there are times that we need to reflect. We are operating a presidential system of government. At this point in time, whatever is written here is apt and germane to the matter in question. But having said that, it is important in a plenary like this, it is almost impossible to do justice to the issues raised on this motion. But it is also imperative that it is within our legislative right and mandate to bring issues to the fore like this. We do not need a very robust, elaborate debate. Why? Because as the affects law-making body of the country, the Senate, we need to be briefed, first and foremost, by the heads of various security agencies in a closed-door session. I also wrote this in the media. But beyond the media, beyond what I know, beyond what you know, we have intelligence organization that is funded by this government. I strongly feel Mr. President, that we need to carry just one prayer, which suggests to me that we invite the National Security Advisor, the NIA, the Director of DSS, for a closed-door session with the Senate on this particular matter. You know why? Because that is their prerogative. That is their field. They have been funded to protect this country against all odds. But I'm sure this motion arose because of the inability, so far to speak, of the government to make any pronouncement on this particular matter. It's disturbing. But the Senate, as it were, should invite the NSA, the NIA, the DSS, for a brief on this matter. From there, we now take it forward. Setting up any committee of the legislature without bringing these people, this is a very serious matter. It is very, very serious. And it has gone viral globally. And therefore, we need to do these things with some facts provided by these various security agencies at a closed-door session. Mr. President, with all due respect, this is my stand on this matter. It is almost impossible to do justice to this particular matter on a debate, in a plenary like this. So I suggest we take one prayer, invite this. Yes, I'm a co-sponsor. That's what I just said. I'm with all the motion. I'm with the content of the motion. But the prayer that needs to be done without any elaborate debate is to invite these people for a closed-door session on this matter.
I read the issue on the social media. I was a bit circumspect. You know, social media is garbage in, garbage out. Anybody can say anything on the social media. Many of us have experienced social media attacks as leaders. And sometimes 99% of what is in the social media is inaccurate. And sometimes total speculation. And sometimes based on mischief. So there is no way we can shave a man's head behind his back. We should, we must hear from our own security agencies. We must hear from our intelligence agencies. When you mentioned the NIA and the DSS, I also believe we should also look at the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, because they are also interacting with the people in the theater of war in the Northeast. So they will have information on past arrests and questionings and all that to brief us. And security is not something we discuss in the market. It's something that should be done in closed session. Distinguished Senate President, you have anything to add? Then we close.
We've seen the greatest devastation in this country because of what Boko Haram did to us everywhere in the entire northern part of, in fact, even in the south. Because they came here, did a lot of things here. You know, the United Nations building was attacked. They were even heading to Lagos, heading to the south, you know, because of diligence and the effort of our security agencies that stopped them. They have occupied the entire country. We saw hell in this country. We saw hell. Thanks to Mr. President, who has been able to deal with them decisively in the manner that they are no longer visible. We have, this government has dealt with them, thrown them into, they've even, you know, well, they still attack from time to time, but not like before. So it's still work in progress, but they've been dealt with, they've been incapacitated. Mr. President, so if there's anything to lead us to where this problem is coming from, of course we should take the advantage. We should see that advantage to see how we can deal with this serious calamity once and for all. And I share in totality, I share with you, I share the position that has been canvassed by Senator Ningi and also strengthened by you. So it's a sensitive matter, and it's an allegation. We should be very careful and try to find out the truth of that allegation. Mr. President, I stand with what you said and also stand with what Senator Ningi said. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Congress will not delve into allegations on social media. And if they have to, they will invite their security chiefs to get details. So the National Security Advisor, the NIA, the DSS, DIA, we must hear from them in closed session so that they brief us because they have the data, they know the record, and they will know the veracity of the situation. So accordingly, I believe that we should have only one. I would like Senator Ningi to move a motion that we invite those people to brief the Senate in closed session so that before we can make comments on this in the open. But in the meantime, we note the allegation and we also note the devastation that Boko Haram has caused the nation. We commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for being able to tackle the situation to a point where no territory in the country today is hoisting the flag of Boko Haram. Whether we like it or not, he has done a very difficult job well. And so we must commend him across party lines. So Senator Ningi, please phrase your prayer in a way that we can let this issue rest.
To invite the National Security Advisor, the Director NIA, the Director DSS, the Head of DIA, for a closed-door session with the Senate to discuss this particular sensitive matter and any other security matter at a closed door. I so move.
Distinguished Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. In seconding the motion, I want to say that the allegation was made by Scott Perry. It was not a social media thing. And I agree that such issues should be discussed in a closed session. But, Mr. President, this is not a social media stuff. And the investigation is going on right now in the United States Congress. And also today, the President, Donald Trump, also said specifically that in that investigation, the support given to Nigeria so far should also be investigated. With that, I want to second the motion to collapse the two prayers into one. I so second.
Thank you. You are going through a metamorphosis, a political metamorphosis. It's almost like one political party taking over from another political party, and allegations flying left, right, center. It's only through thorough investigation that the truth can be established. Even America has not taken the allegation hook, line, and sinker. They are investigating. So Nigeria must also investigate to be sure, because we won't just keep quiet. It is true that U.S. aid have been funding Boko Haram in Nigeria, we have no business allowing them to have offices in Nigeria. So before we can take decisive steps and also ask for recompense, automatically we must go deeper into the issue. So it's important that we get briefed by our intelligence community. So, distinguished colleagues, I thank distinguished Senator Ali Ndume for raising this all-important motion that impinges on the security of the nation, and also thank all those who have contributed. A motion is on ground by distinguished Senator Nengi that the prayers be collapsed into one, and then seconded by distinguished Senator Ali Ndume, the mover of the motion. Those in support of the prayer, the single prayer, that the Senate should immediately invite the National Security Advisor, the Director General of the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, the Director General of the DSS, Director General of the DIA, to brief the Senate in a closed session on the veracity or otherwise of these very serious allegations. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. I believe we should have a timeline. Foreign affairs. This is security. Unless you just want them to be in attendance, it's security. It may not really have much. But is there any person seconding? Is there any seconder to that request? Security? It's a security matter, but then if anybody says, the Senator Dixon is proposing that the Minister of Foreign Affairs should be invited, but that the Minister of Foreign Affairs should come and brief us on. So stand up now. If you are seconding the motion,
yeah, Mr. President,
your colleagues will rule.
I wish to second the motion moved by distinguished Senator Dixon
That
the Minister of Foreign Affairs